Before this video begins, I would like to announce that from here on out, I will be adding captions to my videos. The purpose is to help those whose first language isn't English or struggle with listening rather than speaking or writing it, as well as those who may be hard of hearing. Hopefully this is useful for some of my viewers, and now, back to the video. Dottore is a man with mysterious and uncontrollable motives that we do not see in other characters in Genshin Impact. With Sumeru's arrival, Dottore has been brought into discussions again, most notably regarding his playability. Per usual, let's first get an understanding of Dottore's personality and role in the Fatui. Dottore is among the 11 Fatui Harbingers, with his number most likely being either 4 or 7, based on the biblical numerology. Ashika made a video related to this, so feel free to check it out. The name Dottore is of Italian origin, and can be directly translated to the doctor. Note that doctor in this case can also be translated to master or graduate, although Dottore isn't often used to define these words. His role in the Fatui has to do with creations. Specifically, anything that has to do with creation and experimentation is likely to be put in the hands of Dottore. For example, it is implied in Chapter 8 of the Genshin manga that Dottore was the one who created the Fatui scouting devices watching over Mondstadt, as well as turning Krupp into a Ruin Guard-like machine hybrid. In regards to his personality, Dottore is extremely distinctive and unique compared to ordinary people. He is ruthless and extremely apathetic towards humans, seeing them as nothing more than machines that can just be broken apart and put back together in order to increase performance. Additionally, he carries a hatred for those with visions, as he himself defines them as self-inflated tools in the end of Chapter 1 Part 2 of the manga. He also has a habit of getting annoyed when things do not go his way, and leaves things unfinished when he gets bored of it. These behaviors are shown repeatedly throughout the manga, most notably in chapters 1, 9, and 16 of it, as well as from Tartaglia's story quest when talking about Dottore abandoning his Ruin Guard lab in Liyue, which also caused the Ruin Guards in the region to then flood throughout. As long as he has test subjects, Dottore has a never-ending list of ideas for experiments he wants to conduct. His latest experiments involve taking people, a good portion of them being children, and injecting Archon residue into them to see if they can harness the power of gods. So far, we've only seen Cole survive this experiment, and even then she could barely control the power, eventually having Sino seal it temporarily. Barnabas also seems to be a subject of such experiments, and seems to have more control of the powers. Along with child experimentation, he has also become interested in delusions after seeing Diluc use a delusion without facing any drawbacks, telling Diluc to keep honing his powers and that he saw a bright future ahead of him. He continues exclaiming this interest after leaving the Dawn Winery abruptly, describing the delusion akin to his mind, perfect and utterly peerless. As Sumeru is approaching within the next couple of months, we've gotten a tremendous amount of leaks, including full character models and gameplay for 3.0 and 3.1 characters. A leak that I also came across was one that came from HXG on Twitter, alongside other leakers that supported the claim, which was that Dottore will become a playable character. Despite the lack of evidence and credibility to this claim, it gives us an opportunity to discuss something important. What would adding Dottore into the Genshin Impact character roster mean for Genshin Impact and future characters? Well, for starters, he would become one of the first playable, chaotic evil and inherently corrupt characters. Most of the characters in the game lean towards good or a level of neutrality that is more lenient towards good actions. By having someone as polarizing as him become playable opens up a lot of avenues for future characters in terms of personality. So far in Genshin, we have had most of the characters have a change of heart, which is often referred to as being redeemed, which changes their character in some way, shape, or form. A great example of this is Raiden Shogun. She started out as a very, very strict lawful evil character in terms of motives and actions, and throughout the 2.0 version has developed a closer to, say, a lawful good personality. By having characters who don't have this personality shift occur, it brings a new flavor to the game's roster. Also, it draws in more people to the game as well as those who have showed heavy interest in said character from the day that they were officially recognized. And if you're a Dottore stan, I kind of worry for you because he's kind of a psychopath, but that's besides the point. Now, of course, these are simply just leaks that have no substance or evidence to be backed up. However, most of the leaks and data given seem to show, oddly enough, a pretty high likelihood of this happening. Now, him being playable makes sense, at least to me, because of his chaotic nature. He clings onto things that interest him and quickly detaches from things that bore him or do not spark inspiration. When he interacts with Traveler, I guarantee he will go wild with excitement like pretty much anything new that he sees, especially when the time comes when he sees us use elemental powers without the use of a vision or a delusion. I can imagine him staying around as he never stops pestering us to be his test subject. In a way, he'll definitely view us as a near perfect form of an enhanced human. Now, specifically speaking in regard to how he may be involved in Sumeru, however, the only thing I can really think of is that he may have some involvement with Scaramouche behind the scenes and is helping him with using the Gnosis. We know so far that Scaramouche has ran off with the Gnosis and he has basically gone rogue, and the Fatui are currently trying to catch him, and so we're also probably going to see Child again because he has explained that he is literally hunting him down as we speak. And also, we know so far that Dottore has extensive knowledge and experimentation regarding machinery, specifically with the motive of developing enhanced humans like I've mentioned earlier. This idea could make him interested in Scaramouche's situation. In Dottore's eyes, he may see Scaramouche as a potential for a perfect model as an enhanced human, and that his power may potentially surpass the power of gods. Assuming he does discover how to make it work, this version of Scaramouche would then become a potential boss fight. Other than this scenario, I can't really think of any other cases that would justify his presence in Sumeru unless he has something to do with the Ermite organization that is also currently a hot topic over there in that region. As stated by Nessa Farin, the Ermites are a mercenary group whose soldiers will do anything for money. It is entirely possible that he and the Fatui in general are working with them or may have some involvement with this organization's rise in power, since the Fatui definitely have the money to prepare for such negotiations. Alright, and that was the end of this video. If you did enjoy it, then be sure to leave a like and subscribe. In the next video, I will be talking about misunderstood and overlooked characters in Genshin Impact, so stay tuned for that video coming on Friday. And until the next video, bye bye.